What's up, guys? Mike Stearns with Ascend Digital Agency.
TJ McCormack, world's greatest roofer.
So today we're bringing a very special episode of the Mission Control podcast brought to you by Ascend Digital. We got TJ here, who is the GOAT? When it comes to TikTok?
I'm okay. I'm no slouch.
So we wanted to bring TJ in because obviously social media in and of itself is constantly evolving, TikTok especially, right?
Yeah.
So he's going to share some insights as to what he's seen recently, how he got where he is today, what he sees for the future, and what it holds for TikTok and other social media platforms, and how it can help you guys in the long haul.
Well, yeah, man, I'm excited. If you're not out there using short form video for your company or for your business, you need to get on it. A couple of years ago, Facebook was just starting out, 10 years, 15 years ago almost now, and people didn't jump on that train when they should have, and they were late to the party, if you will.
Yeah.
Here we are about 24 months from being late to the party again, and everybody should be posting TikToks, they should be posting Reels, they should be posting YouTube Shorts, and of course, posting all of that to Facebook as well. In business, we sometimes forget that our marketing agencies depend on us for content, and if we're not out there producing content using short form videos, you're paying money for no reason. Tell me what you think about, like, we've talked about this algorithm over the past day or a couple of days, where the TikTok algorithm is socially ranking people, and then also with Google, are you seeing the same thing?
Yeah, ultimately, what TikTok and Google both want to do is they want to provide the most relevant content to the people that are utilizing their platforms, right? Because at the end of the day, if more people are using their platforms and they have more eyeballs, whether it's now or in the very near future for TikTok, they're going to start to monetize that. They're going to be able to charge more for that space to advertise on. Same thing with Google when you do things like Google Ads. The more people using that platform, the better the user experience, the more likely they are to come back, the more money they're going to pull from their ad revenue.
Where I was confused about how SEO worked, and Michael helped me with that, was that whenever I'm thinking about my algorithm and how it's helping people, I tend to think about the views and the likes and the comments and the interactions that I'm getting on my personal social media pages, where Google and SEO is doing the same thing. Whoever's interacting with that page, they're using keywords to search, they're using real people to drive those results. It's the same thing with algorithms with social versus Google.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, you want to be very front and center on any platform that people are actually using, right? And there's no doubt about it as far as Google, Facebook, TikTok, used to be MySpace, right? And I'm sure in 10 years it'll be something else. You want to be front and center, you want the attention of your target market. It's very important. And as TJ has mentioned, getting there early, right? So, and we talked about this a little bit, with Facebook, you used to be able to get in front of a large percentage of your connected followers, right? So if you had 100 people that you were friends with or that followed a page, Facebook would show that amount to a very high percentage of those people. Anyone that has a business page, especially now, knows that that's no longer the case, right? Because as they took more market share from platforms like MySpace, and it became much more prevalent, right, as far as usage, they began to demand that you pay money to keep that same amount of reach, right? So we'll show it to half your audience, a third of your audience. Now it's like 5%, 2%, 10%. Like, it's wildly less than it was before. So how important is it for people to grow an audience on TikTok now?
You know what, right now, if you're a brand or a salesperson, or you're just somebody that is really great at social media, you need to get your following and your interactions up right now. You shouldn't be waiting any longer. For example, my neighbor, she and I have been talking about her personal business and whether or not for her to get started. And she's shy on the camera, and she's like, no, I'll wait a little bit longer. And I keep saying, Brittany, you can't wait any longer. If you wait any longer, you're going to be late to the party, and it's going to be harder for you then than it is now. All of the algorithms are changing to actually be to where whenever I was talking about algorithms. I saw that skunk over there.
Changing the For You pages?
Yeah, that's right. all of the algorithms right now are changing their to a For You page situation. If you've been on TikTok, you see the For You, which is typically broadcast to everybody. In past years on Instagram and on Facebook, if you had a following, those followers were the ones who actually got to see it. But now YouTube Shorts and Instagram and now Facebook in the past few weeks have changed that algorithm to also match, just like TikTok's, to be able to show those videos and that content to more people than just the people who say that they like you or are your friend.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I've noticed that because, you know, we focus specifically on Google. Obviously, I engage and interact, and TJ's here to help me become a guru at TikTok.
He's almost there.
By the way, this is a very special event, not because me or TJ, but we're at Niagara Falls.
Niagara Falls.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
So thanks for joining us. But at any rate, what are some of the biggest changes that you've seen since your rise in TikTok, right, that has impacted how people are interacting, how you're growing your audience, how you're maintaining, right?
Yeah, so before TikTok came around, there wasn't anybody really doing live broadcasts, right? Lives were really, nobody wanted to be live on camera, and if they did, they were very extroverted and they were really okay with it. Sure. Nowadays, in order to grow your presence, you have to interact with your following. And if you're not interacting with your following live in short form videos, if you're not commenting, liking, and sharing other people's posts, other people aren't going to like you. They're not going to follow you. They don't want to be around somebody that's not doing what they're doing. So in order to keep up with the trends, right, we have to do what everybody else is doing.
So what do you see on the horizon as far as changes within TikTok? I think that, I'm assuming here, but I don't know if I'm off base or on point, you're probably privy to more changes forthcoming with TikTok than the average person, right?
So
give us some trade secrets.
Let me tell you a little bit about it. So a lot of people are worried about social ranking in the world, right? A lot of people say that China uses social ranking whenever they're trying to determine who is best at what they do. Just like with algorithms right now with TikTok, and then of course Google, the changes that I'm seeing are that if you're not a part of the echelon of people that have many hundreds or millions of followers, then you're going to be left down here. And then also, there's a new feature on TikTok that they've been trying to push for about a month called Subscriber, right? And Subscriber is where people actually subscribe to know when you go live, and they pay for that feature. They pay $1 a month to find out when you're live, and then TikTok pays you because those people want to see you live, and they're going to actually come on when they know that you're there because they get a notification. While you're in that live, if people are interacting, they're going to show it to possibly hundreds of thousands of people more.
Yeah. That's interesting. Now, when did that start?
It was about a month and a half ago.
Okay.
And it's in a beta test right now. They're about to release it. I've been a part of the beta test. I haven't had a lot of people, right, subscribe to that. I've had probably 10 people that pay to watch me now, which is different for me, like the tips, the gifts, the people paying to watch you live, the people that are in brands or brand recognition that I get from those brands. It makes me bigger than who I am, or well, who I've been in life, because people are happy to see me interact with them on camera.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, dude, and congratulations. You've done a hell of a job.
Yeah.
So, let me ask you this, though. Like, we're talking to contractors.
Yep.
They don't care about, you know, a girl doing a dance, right?
Right.
So, like, why should they be on TikTok?
Because
that's all it's going to hit, right?
So the problem with roofers in general has been that they've always worried about what other roofers thought about them, right? They've never been personable on camera. They've never cared about another person on social media before or in videos, and they hate taking videos of themselves. You guys are great door knockers. You'll stand in front of your big old trucks, but you won't pull out that camera and say cheese, right? But whenever I'm on camera now, the things that I'm doing, I'm acting like my homeowners or my business owners are fifth graders. And the way that I'm doing that is I'm showing them the little things that mean very little to me or to roofers, or easy things that make people at home watching me think that they've learned something. And it's not the hard things that people need to learn. It's the easy things, baby steps. Treat them like they're fifth graders, and not disrespectfully, but most people learn on a fifth grade level.
Berate them.
Yeah, right.
Berate them, make them feel worthless.
Right, make them feel worthless. But really, if you guys remember the TV show How It's Made was a very, very successful program because people wanted to actually see what was happening in order for, you know, eggs to be made into scrambled eggs, or just for example, right? Or robots making other things, or roofing systems going on. People want to see that and interact with you, and you should not be gearing your content to what you think other roofers will approve of. This is about a homeowner, a business owner, somebody or a client that's going to buy from you and you only, not other roofers.
Yeah, that's really good. That's great insight. But again, like, how many of these people that, you know, let's say we get on camera, right, and we're smiling and we're breaking things down very eloquently in a way that any homeowner who doesn't have any previous knowledge would understand. How does that turn into a lead? Like, what is the value? I mean, and here's the thing, guys. I fucking hate being on camera, right? I'm an extrovert, but when I sit here on camera, I hate it, right? So you're not alone. Don't feel like you're alone, and it's okay. But at the end of the day, people don't give a shit, right? It's not that big of a deal.
It's not.
Right?
You guys are watching us right now, and you're like, oh my God, I could never be on camera. But really, the things that roofers should be doing is asking for the sale on camera, or being nice to those people, and then allowing them to gain trust with them being seen on camera every day, seeing your trade. Like understanding and knowing that you are the one that they need to choose in order to get their new roof put on, or their new siding, or painting their house, or whatever trade you're in. Because at the end of the day, people like people. People don't necessarily want to buy from a business, but they'll buy from somebody they trust.
That makes a lot of sense. So it's just what type of targeting is that, right? Because a lot of what we do, right, is very targeted. People like that. We love it, right? Because we can say, hey, okay, storm hits here, let's run some ads there, and we're gonna get people calls from there. What's available within like TikTok particularly that people can leverage as far as targeting?
Yeah, so TikTok, about 3 weeks ago, I'll say a month ago or so, there's a new feature called geo-targeting. There's 210 geo-targets surrounding the United States all over, that if you're in that geo-target and you tag hashtag Niagara Falls, the people around Niagara Falls within about 5-mile radius are gonna see that TikTok, or they're gonna see that live broadcast, and they're going to be able to associate that with wherever they are. Today, you and I were talking, and something popped up on my phone, and there's a new feature called Nearby that is going to start showing your TikToks to everybody nearby, and that's something that's going to be game-changing for roofing companies or contracting companies out there. It doesn't matter if the hailstorm happened yesterday. If you're on live broadcast or you're posting your video and you tag the location that you're in, it's going to show it to the people nearby.
But TikTok's only young people, right?
No, TikTok, 20% of people over the age 50 are on TikTok right now. 20%, 1 in 5 people. So,
how has that changed since the inception of TikTok?
So since the inception of TikTok, it was usually 16 to 23 was that number, right?
Okay.
But since that 16 to 23 number has grown into 30 to 40, 40 to 50. And now my following, the average age of my following is 34 years old.
You think COVID had a lot to do with that?
It's the only thing that had to do with that, because I feel as if you were a marketer pre-COVID, before March of 2020, you did things a certain way. That's because everybody went to work. Everybody was always watching TV at night, right? They were interacting with people outside. In the past 2 years, people have been locked in their house. They weren't allowed to be around each other. They didn't go to work. So the only thing that they knew was Zoom, their face, or their cell phones, and watching things constantly.
Yeah.
The average American right now is watching short form video content 45 hours a month. 45 hours, like it's unreal to me to think about that. More than a regular 40-hour job, in overtime, people are watching video content.
Yeah. So it can be a challenge for a lot of contractors to get any type of video.
Yep.
Right? There's a lot of apprehension, or they have to rely on somebody else who sometimes isn't reliable to carry out that task. So what is your advice to people that want to take advantage of something like TikTok or YouTube Shorts, or YouTube in general, right?
Yep.
Just video in general, more specifically short form. How do you go about transforming from a company that's not able to execute a strategy for video into one that flourishes because of it?
Okay, so I have a marketer. My marketer's name is Carson. What's up, Carson? Carson, for the past 3 years, I was on roofs every day, all day when I met Carson. and Carson would call me and he said, TJ, I need you to send me video now. And I'd be like, what do you mean? I just posted some pictures and Acculinks. And he'd be like, bro, what do you want me to do with that? And I'd never thought anything about it. You know, and over the past year and a half since I've become TikTok famous, I really see the shift in how the world is acting towards that short form video. If you're a roofing company right now, you don't need to make content. Making content means that you're actually making a video that's going to be shown socially. Just gather information. Just put your camera on and start taking videos. Excuse me, young man, how's it going? There we go. But if you're a roofing company right now, you just need to start taking videos. I'm not trying to pitch you, but if you need help, I would love to come and help you. But typically, there's somebody that knows how to use a phone, or you bring your phone on the roof. While you're on that roof, instead of taking a bunch of pictures, take a 30-second or 1-minute video. It shows pre-loss condition or pre-roof, pre-restoration condition, and it gives a homeowner a peace of mind that yes, that person was on my roof. Yes, that's actually the damage, because for years we've only been showing pictures of damage and not actually, here's a real video to see the real evidence. And that's also something we can show on camera to other people as to what we're looking for.
Yeah, and I think that's a really important point, guys. Like, and this is something I've harped on with clients of mine in the past, is you guys are doing this anyway. So just think of it through the lens of you're going against the worst State Farm adjuster that you've ever had to deal with to prove loss for one of your clients, right? You guys are fighting tooth and nail to get that claim approved, and you're throwing a ton of different reasons as to why, whether it's code, whether it's match, or how significant the damage is, and it's compromised the structure or the integrity of the roof, right? You're doing all these things already. Now we just got to do it and explain it on a video. And here's the thing. If you are at the point where you want to dip your toe in before you jump in the water, don't put your face on it. In time, you'd want to pivot into getting your face in your face or your salesperson's face as part of the brand and making that connection, that rapport with your audience. But if you want to crawl before you walk and you want to just shoot content on the roof, lifting up shingles, showing hail strikes, whatever the case may be, again, if you look at it like you're explaining loss to an adjuster, you're going to make really good content that's really going to help people. Here's another thing. The amount of people that they show your content to is probably going to fucking suck when you start, right? Don't be discouraged. I'm there right now. Ask this guy.
Yeah.
I've been harassing him over the last 3 days because, TikTok's only showing me to 85 people, but Instagram showed me to 2,800. It's fine because consistency is going to win in this type of strategy. Is that right?
Yep, it sure is.
Yep.
1 second. Excuse me, young man. No, it's okay. Thank you. I just wanted to make sure it's still on because I didn't want a phone call to come in.
Is this thing still on?
Yeah. So it doesn't matter if it's TikTok. It doesn't matter if it's Instagram or YouTube short reels or just posting to Facebook or Facebook stories. You just need to get your content out there. And it does, you know what? A lot of people are scared to put their face on camera, and it's totally okay. I was absolutely horrified and scared myself to put my face on camera, and I'm still at times scared to be this far away from my camera and be like, oh my gosh, that camera's looking at me, right?
Yeah.
But there's 1.8 billion people on TikTok. Think about all of the social media platforms with billions of people doing exactly what we're asking of you. And really, like he just said, don't force yourself until you're ready.
Yeah.
But you can turn that camera around, and the camera is much more crisper on the other side when it's facing away.
That is very true, and that's also a really good point. What do you see in the future of TikTok?
In the future, I feel as if we're not going to be posting Twitter posts anymore or word posts. I think that we'll go to all video social media or all live broadcasting social media where businesses will be broadcasting what's going on inside their companies 24 hours a day. It's already happening now. But in forms of what's next, man, they came out with TikTok, and TikTok rocked this planet. It's unknown, man. It could be anything. And you know what? Maybe the next thing that we do is we have lives and people are in hologram form.
Oh, that'd be dope.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Jackson did it 30 years. Why are we having holograms out yet?
Yeah, and then I don't gotta get on planes. Like,
Right.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, you literally can dance with somebody and be a graphic.
I'm not dancing.
Hey.
So let me ask you this,
Yeah.
one more thing. What did you find helpful to cure that anxiety
Yep.
of getting in front of the camera
Yep.
for the first time? What did you do?
Yeah.
What did you find that helped? And how bad was it?
For me, it was to the point where I would start sweating, right?
Yeah.
I would hold my camera up and I'd be like, why am I doing this, right? I'm gonna embarrass my family. My family would always tell me when I was younger, you don't embarrass the family. Don't put your face on video.
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody what's going on in your life, right? And what I had to do was I had to force myself. And I forced myself because I saw a reason to. Back when I first got started on TikTok, there was nobody on TikTok selling roofs at all. They were doing weird videos of them dancing on roofs and like doing stuff and being weird, right? But they weren't actually saying, hey, can I come and get on your roof right now? I just want to do an inspection. You see all these other people that trust me and follow me, they like my videos,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the same for you. And now, it took me about 4 months to be to where I was actually a little bit comfortable with being on camera. But once I got to that 4-month mark, I was able to open up, loosen up, and I was able to produce some great content.
Nice. How shitty was your first video?
My first video sucked.
Yeah.
And they still suck sometimes,
Yeah.
right? Like I've only been doing this a year and a half. I am not perfect. I've just found a way that people like me, people want to follow me, and it's because I care about them. I treat them like they're my friend. I mean, they are my friends, but I like their comments. I comment back to them. I ask them how they're doing. I talk to the camera,
Right.
so it makes them feel as if I'm talking to them. And people like that. People want to feel as if somebody cares about them. And if you act like an asshole, if you're not authentic, they're not going to like you back.
It makes a lot of sense,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
People can usually sift through the bullshit,
Yeah.
right? And it's a less than redeeming quality.
It is. And sometimes
That's why people hate marketers.
Yeah, well, that's because they only want to give you leads, and it's an astronomical amount in 1 week. But
But can you handle 20 or 30 more?
20 to 30 more leads. Are you really a roofing company? Yeah. Well, and you guys know, 5 to 6 leads a day from a marketer. You don't even typically run 5 or 6 days in 5 or 6 leads in a storm a day. So just remember who you're talking to. Make sure that whoever you are getting to help you with your marketing is using video daily. If your marketing company right now that's helping you with social, I'm not talking about SEO, but with social, if they're not posting a video every day, fire your marketer today.
Hot take from the world's greatest roofer, ladies and gentlemen.
Stop paying people for stuff that's not helping you.
Couldn't agree more with that last part. I'm not going to get involved in the first part of it. I'll leave that to you and the social bros. If people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way to do so?
World's Greatest Roofer on all social platforms. TJ at World's Greatest Roofer is my email. Or you can get a hold of Michael and he can pass my phone number along.
I'm charging you a fee, and I'm going to try to sell you 20 to 30 more leads if you reach out to me, though.
But hey, first you got to buy SEO before you buy my services.
Obviously. Do you got anything else for the audience before we go?
You know what? Thank you guys so much for what you've given me in the past year and a half. I look forward to the roofing industry growing in a way that's helpful, that it makes meaningful education, and then let's produce some great videos and make me laugh and also make me cry a little, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
That's it.
Peace.
We out.